Okay, so we got a bunch of questions for Jessica to answer, but first I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. And then Jessica, if you could actually first just tell us a little bit about your story, because I think we have quite a few newbies who don't have the pleasure of knowing your story. And I think it's one of those awesome ones. So if you wouldn't mind kind of telling your story a little bit, and then we'll start asking questions. Is that cool?
Awesome. That's fine with me.
Sweet.
Okay, so hi everybody. I am in the car right now. So I am a triple diamond. I have been with It Works for a very long time. I have an interesting story. I started, I was a customer first. I just tried the wraps. I fell in love with them. Like within days, I became a distributor. And I just signed up under the girl that sold me the wrap. She was like brand new. I didn't know her. I just figured that's what you do. I didn't know. So I didn't have an upline because she actually bounced the second that I signed up. She was gone within like a week. And there was nobody really above her. The highest that it goes up to for me in my upline would be Cami. But since Cami is with corporate now, I would actually be the first presidential and ambassador in our entire leg, which is insane to me. But that's what's going to happen. So I didn't have anybody teaching me anything. So things like this, a Zoom, we didn't have Zoom. I mean, we had Skype, right? But nobody was doing it. I had nobody to talk to. I had no group pages, no team meetings, no info. I didn't know what charting was. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that I had amazing results and I was showing them nonstop to people. I started out on Instagram and I was posting them all the time. And I was telling my story and people just kind of flocked to it because they believed my story because it was so real. So that's kind of how I started. And then like I said, I didn't know charting. So I was signing up people, not realizing that I had to like make sure they were in certain spots because I'm totally red. I have maybe like 2% yellow and like, I don't even know, that's it. So other than that, I wasn't about to be reading anything. So my fault. Please don't do that. Please read. Please don't do what I did because it took me like 3 or 4 months to go Ruby when I had like a gazillion people under me, which as you guys probably know, is not how it works. So I didn't know. I had no idea. And they were all on my top line. I literally had 80 people on my top line. So I had no idea. Okay. So I was just making money from selling wraps and loyal customers. And I was like, all right, this is fine. So long story short, I ended up, once I got to Ruby, then I hit each rank after that consecutively because then I knew what I was doing. I was like, all right, this is easy. So right after Ruby, I hit Emerald, then Diamond, like month after month. And then it took me like 3 months after hitting double to hit triple. And then I was boxed. I was actually boxed for presidential after that. I boxed myself. And then I realized I was like, I'm doing all of this work on my own. And I was burnt out. I was so burnt out. I had no team. Like, you're boxer presidential, you should have a team, and you do. But I wasn't a leader. And it took me a long time, I mean years, a long time to really figure out who I was as a leader. And I was tired. I was just tired of building nonstop. So rather than me developing myself as a leader right then and there, I just took a step back. And I was happy with my pay. I was always making more than triple pay anyway. So I was like, I'm good, whatever. FYI, please don't ever do that. Like, because once you lose your momentum, it is so difficult to get it back. So for years, I've been sitting at triple. And I should, with the amount of people that my husband jokes all the time, and it's become now a joke between myself and some people at corporate that I'm not ambassador because they've been like waiting because I've been in top and roller numerous times and I've gotten tons of loyal customers. And my husband always says it's a numbers game. Well, it is, but it's also, you have to know what you're doing. And like I said, because I had no upline and I did not read anything, I stalled my business big time. The paychecks were amazing, but I should be up there right now. So I'm going for it finally. I'm like, all right, I got this. I'm a good leader now. I know what I'm doing. I had to really develop myself, and that took a lot of self-development, a lot of leadership development as well, that I'm very big into. And and I finally have, you know, a team that's actually working and I'm not working for them. Very important. And I stuck with it, and I've been in here for quite a few years now, and I should be, if all goes well, I should be presidential in the next 2 weeks. If not, then definitely next month. So we shall see. But yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy that I've been in this for so long, and but that's just goes to show you, if you're a newbie or if you are maybe a diamond and you're like, oh my God, like, why am I not this, whatever, like, just stick it out, because like, you guys, if I would have given up years ago, like, I'd be back in a 9-to-5 job hating my life right now. So I've been there and I've done that. So never again. So sorry, that was a
no, that's totally fine. I think that's so awesome, because I think sometimes like people join the business and they think that, you know, they're going to join on day one and then day two, it's going to be like immediate success. And I think sometimes it's really awesome to hear from people who may have not had that, like they had immediate success and then, you know, like whether life happened or something happened. And so they had this journey. And so I really appreciate you sharing that. So I want to say, we're going to ask a few questions. And then if you guys have other questions, Jessica said that she has some extra time for us. So if you guys want to ask them, drop some of those questions in the chat. We can go through those at the end, okay? Cool. Okay, so some of our top questions were, let's see. Okay, so what were some of your daily activities that you did to go from a DT to triple in that 1 year with no upline?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, if you don't have results from the products that you're selling, you're not going to go anywhere. And Nicole, are you red?
Oh my God, I'm so red.
Okay. All right, good. Because I don't want to scare people with my attitude, because I'm just going to kiss you guys. Okay. So if you're used to Nicole, then that's fine.
Nope, they're so used to
it.
Okay. So
because I hear myself and that like 2% yellow is like, ooh, maybe there's like a yellow that's like, oh my God, she's so mean right now. I promise you guys, I'm a big sweetheart. Listen, I love Hogwarts and Harry Potter. Okay, listen, I'm cool. So I promise you, okay, if you are not using these products and getting your results from these products and telling people about your results from these products, you are never going to be anything but a distributor. And if you signed up to make like $50 a month, that's cool. That's whatever. That's fine. Everybody starts out differently. Everybody has a different goal. But if you signed up to change your life, then you need to do certain things. And one of those things is to be a product of the product. And I don't care what product it is. It could be any product. It does not just have to be the wraps, you guys. It could be anything. People always, oh, I'm pregnant. Okay. There's like an entire skincare line that you can be using right now. It does not matter. So I promise you, okay, what I did, number one, first and foremost, was I posted my results every single day. If you go back through my Facebook or my Instagram, there is not one day for years, not one day, where you did not see my result photos. And on top of my result photos, I gave updated photos. That's the thing, okay? You want people to be following your journey. They want to feel like they're part of something. So when I didn't wait till I was skinny to show my photos, okay? I didn't wait till I used all 4 wraps to show my results. I had good results from 1. I had good results from 2. I was showing those people those results. I was not waiting, you guys, because the longer you wait, your paycheck is just sitting there and it's not getting into your bank account, okay? And I am completely 100% motivated by money. All right, I like to win. That is my thing. I have to win. I am so competitive. Oh my God, I'm so red. It's terrible. But if I'm not making money, I'm not happy. Like, I'm just not happy. So you have to think like that, right? Like, even if you're yellow, it doesn't matter. What you want to be doing, okay, is posting your results if you have them every single day. And you also have to remember, if you're using social media, because I'm not going to talk about parties because I don't do them. You know, I know how to do them. If shit hit the fan and I had to do parties, I know how, which I think is very important. We all need to know everything. But I did everything through social media, so that's all I'm going to be talking about. But if you're going to be posting your result photos, you don't want to be posting them once or twice a week, because your entire friends list, like 10 people have seen them. Not everybody's on at the same time, you guys. Nobody's on at the same time. You have to post them multiple times, and you have to tell a story with them. You can't just say, you know, oh, check out my results. But if your results from whatever product it was were that good, you wouldn't be saying 2 sentences. You'd be freaking the frig out, right? You would be freaking out. So when I would tell my story, I would be saying to people, like, look at these results. Look at what these did for me. Like, you are insane not to use them. And I would post my updated results. And I would give people, you know, there was one time when I did 3 wraps where it didn't work for me. And you know what I did? I told people about it. I said, this is what we tell people. This is what happens sometimes where it may not work. And I had more people following me from that because I was honest. I wasn't like, oh, it worked when it didn't. So again, what I did all the time was I was posting my result photos day in, day out. I had so many loyal customers when I was starting because all I did was post result photos. Now, that's what I did in the beginning. That was also years ago. So the algorithm has changed. Social media has changed. You will look like a complete spammer if you do that. So you have to be a little bit more strategic now. But I would say absolutely. People have no idea what you're doing if you're not putting it out there. So you have to put it out there, whether that's a post, a live video, 10,000 pictures of yourself updated, whatever it might be, you have to put it out there though. You can't just think that like, oh, I'm going to post a few times a week and then like, you know, everything's going to be good. Everyone's going to come to me. That's not going to work. It's not going to work unless you have everything else down, and everything else down is your result photos have to be amazing pictures. They have to be your updated story. You have to be consistent. And that's one thing I can say that I did in the beginning. As a brand new distributor, I was constantly consistent, constantly. And like I said before, there was not one day that went by that I wasn't posting, whether it was my result photos or another person's result photos. I was always in that person's face. And the thing is, they always say, you know, like, I don't know the numbers. I always hear different numbers, but people need to see things, you know, like 10, 15, 20 times, whatever it might be, before they finally like want to buy, most people. So if you're going to show people like twice a week, they're going to already be gone. You know what I mean? So having them see stuff over and over without spammy, that's what I was doing. And like I said before, I started out on Instagram, which is a lot easier to post result photos all the time. Even now, you could still kind of get away with it to posting all the time. But back then, I did, and I don't think you want to do this now, but back then I did on Instagram, I did every hour from like 8 a.m. to like 12 a.m. And then when I was getting crazy, I did every 30 minutes. And I had a scheduler. So because I had a life. So there was, you know, I would schedule it all the night before. And it was it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, but I got a lot of customers from it. I don't use Instagram anymore. I know you do though, Nicole. So I'm not sure like how much it's changed because I've really found like my niche with Facebook, but I don't know if you could still do that.
You know, there are some people on the team that are super Instagrammers.
Awesome.
I use Instagram. I use Instagram, but like my safe place is Facebook. So I'm like right there with you. So my safe place is Facebook. But we do have some girls on the team that are like uber Instagrammers. But I don't know. I don't know if that you really can do that anymore. So
right, that's the thing. Yeah. And another thing that I did that I will say till like the last day I'm in this company, which hopefully is never. The other thing that I did was because I had nothing to read, and because I had nobody telling me what to do. And on one hand, I think it was amazing that I had no upline, but on the other hand, there's definitely perks to having an upline, you guys. Like the stuff that Nicole gives you, like take advantage of it, because there's people like me that didn't have this. And I would have killed for what I give my team now, and I'm sure that she gives you guys. So take advantage of that. But something that I think was what helped me was that I literally was just, you know, idiot on fire, like Joel Dunn says, because I had nobody telling me do this, do that. I was like, I'm going to post my results because I want people to see this product. And it took off. And what happened was I was so confident in my results because I knew the product worked, that when I talked to people, even though I was literally brand new, I sounded like I was a black diamond. I sounded like I literally created the wraps myself because I was so confident about it. And so the biggest tip that I can give you as a brand new distributor is, even though you are green, because we all started out the exact same way, even though you're green, go into every conversation, every single post, every single interaction that you have as though you are literally a black diamond, because nobody will ask you, what rank you are. Nobody will ask you how much you make, because that's a big question with new distributors, and they get all flustered. I know, I get it. No one ever asked me that, because they always thought that I was higher than I was because of my confidence. And I didn't even know I had it. It was just that I was so excited about the business and the product and my results that it just happened that way. And I had nobody in my ear telling me, okay, here's what you're going to say now. Here's what you're going to do now. I just did it. So literally, like, don't overcomplicate things. It literally is that easy. I wish I had a camera with me for that first year to follow me around, because people would be like, holy crap, like that you didn't even do anything. And I didn't. I really didn't. And I was like, I remember telling Dan, I was like, there's no way that this business is this easy. There is no way I'm a triple diamond right now. And what did I do? Like, this is so easy. And it was exhausting, but it was easy. And it was because I loved it. So remember that. Have the confidence no matter what rank you're at. And the way that you say things will come out differently. The way that people respond to you will be how you want them to respond because of your confidence.
Oh my gosh, you are amazing. You just like literally breathe life into everybody. Okay, so I love it. I just love it. Okay, so how would you teach? So we all know, so It Works has its own brand. Okay, so they spend a lot of money, and the company's been around for 16 years. So they have their own brand, they have their own identity. So when you're training your new distributors, and I know because this is something we kind of talked about, how do you teach them how to brand themselves? You know, something separate from, and this kind of goes along with that, you know, people were asking what exactly is attraction marketing. And I kind of feel like maybe these two questions kind of go along with each other. So you might be able to answer both together.
Okay. So a lot of people I've noticed, especially my newbies on my team, they really, really overthink what branding themselves means. And really, I'm like, okay, what's your name? You know, they're like, I don't know, Sarah Lee, whatever. I'm hungry right now. Sarah Lee. And I'm like, okay, there's your brand. And they're like, well, what are you? I'm like, you are your brand, because that's it. That's whatever you are about. That's your brand. Like, my hair has become my brand. My Harry Potter tattoos and whatever else has become a part of, well, I mean, it is a part of me, but it's become what people know me for. That's what do people know it works for? Everybody knows it works because of the wraps, right? So what is the brand of It Works? They're known for their wraps, right? So they've branded themselves with that. What is your brand? Your brand is you. What do people know you for? Are you somebody that's loud and obnoxious and crazy and wild? Like, that's your brand. Run with that crap. Like, run with it. Don't stifle who you are, because a lot of times people, they think, oh, okay, I have to brand myself and I have to be super professional. I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to have notebooks, and I have to have all these things, and I have to have, you know, stickers and badges and things that say, no, whoever you are is your brand. And it's so simple when you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, okay, so how do I brand myself? Well, I'm already branded because it's me. Now the matter of letting other people know about it is that you have to just put it out there. You have to put your personality out there, whatever that might be. So, sorry, I have to not look at this because I'm going to get distracted. Okay. So whatever your personality is, whatever you're into, if you're like a crazy cat woman, run with that. Go with it. Like, that's you. That's your brand, right? You're Sarah Lee, the girl that loves cats, like that wears cats like cat leggings. And people will start tagging you and messaging you with cat crap, like all this stuff, right? So I'm telling you guys, I get Harry Potter stuff all day. People that I don't even know will tag me in stuff because they're like, oh, you know, I know that you love this. I get more baby Harry Potter stuff because they know that I'm trying to get pregnant. Then I can't even tell you. And I don't even know these people. But that has become my brand. My hair. People ask me about my hair color. You know? So when you're trying to brand yourself, the first thing that you always have to do is look at who you are, right? And if it's something that you have to actually ask friends, like, you know, if you were to describe me, right? Have your friends help you out. If it's something that you're finding difficult, because your friend's going to know you just as well as you do, right? So, oh, I'm sorry. I had Slytherin. I had to. I saw that pop up.
Sorry. I have one of my diamonds. One of my diamonds is sitting next to me. She goes, ask her what house she is.
I knew it. Yeah, I'm like,
priorities, right? I'm seeing all the chats come up and I see house and I'm like, Slytherin immediately. Ask your friends. Ask your friends, be like, okay, listen, you know, I'm trying to figure out my brand. I know my brand is me, right? Like Sarah Lee, that's me. But like, how would you describe me? What is it there about me that sticks out to you that you've always known about me? And you'll start hearing things from your friends that maybe you didn't remember about yourself, but hey, it happens. So like, you'll start picking up on this stuff, and then you could put yourself together and be like, okay, yeah, this is me. And so honestly, like as far as branding yourself, I've had a lot of people say, okay, what's the name that I'm going to come up with? And I had one girl on my team who is Russian and Chinese, and she's a gorgeous girl, and she apparently a Russian and an Asian in their whatever, there's an ongoing joke with her family, I guess they call each other raisins. And so she wanted to name her brand like the something raisin, and I was like, how is that going to do anything for your business? So I had to talk her out of it, because I was like, Michelle, you are Michelle Josen. That's your brand. Run with it. Like, and now she's killing it. But you have to remember that you don't need a quirky name. It doesn't need to be crazy, like unless you're starting your own business, right? But it works for branding yourself, for doing whatever you're doing. It's you. Just remember your name, right? You know that part. So just know that it's you. And then don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid, which goes into attraction marketing. You have to be transparent. You have to be. You cannot be a robot. Attraction marketing and robot, like, no, they're not. Okay. When you think of attraction marketing, anytime you make a post, anytime you do a live video, if you're not doing live videos, by the way, again, you're stifling your business. You need to do it. Anytime you do anything when it comes to your business, I want you to remember this sentence, okay? If you want to follow attraction marketing, I want you to remember this sentence. Be the hunted, not the hunter. Remember that. Be the hunted, not the hunter. You want to be that elusive wolf. You want to not be the crazy person running around after, everybody which way, okay, that you can find. You want to be the person that is in somebody's face, but also mysterious. You want to be that person that people are drawn to. And by that, I don't mean that you have to have an exact type of personality. You can have any type of personality in the world. You could literally be the most boring person on the planet, and people will flock to you if they are interested in that type of person. And by the way, those are the people that you want, right? You want people on your team. You want to work with people that are similar to you, because then you just get along better. So don't feel like you need to, like I've had a lot of people on my team say, oh, I don't have red hair. Okay, well, for the first 2.5 years of my business, I had my regular dark, like dull brown hair, and I did just fine. So you don't need crazy red hair. You don't need to be loud and obnoxious. You don't need any of those things. You just need to be you, because people are going to fall in love with you, your messy self, your flaws, everything, because nobody wants perfect. Okay. If perfect existed, right, this world would be a lot different. And I don't think it would be a good world, because it doesn't make sense. So people fall in love with you. Okay, which goes into attraction marketing. People fall in love with you before they fall in love with the product. People buy into you before they buy into the business opportunity. So if you're going to give them you as your brand, you have to be transparent, and you have to be, I love scripts, especially for newbies. I think somebody asked this in the Push to Legendary group recently. What do you think about scripts and all that stuff? I think they're fantastic if you're just starting out and you kind of need a basis of where to go. But after a while, like, you have to let your personality show. You have to be you. Because again, people are going to buy into you. So as far as attraction marketing goes, like I said, be the hunted, not the hunter. Something that my husband says a lot is, don't be a kiosk, like in a mall. How many times do you walk by a kiosk in a mall and you literally, I know me, I'm like, I just pretend I'm on my phone and I make sure it's on vibrate so that way it doesn't ring and I look stupid. And I walk by and I'm like, oh yeah, da, 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 da. And I'm, oh no, thank you, no, because I know they're trying to get me to try their like hair straightener. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm good. Like, don't harass me. Don't stalk me. And that's what I feel like 95% of people in this company do, because they don't understand attraction marketing. And if I told you, because nobody ever believes me, but I'm just going to tell you anyway, because it is the truth. And this is why I wish I had a camera. I did not reach out. And by the way, I'm not saying reach out as in it's not good, because now I do, and it is good to do it. But I did not reach out to a single person to get to Triple Diamond in that year. I did not reach out to a single human being. Everybody just signed up. Everybody just came to me. because I was constantly in their face and I was constantly honest. Okay. I wasn't a salesperson. I was honest. I was me. And I let people fall in love with me and my journey, especially with my journey. They fell in love with my journey. So they fell in love with seeing my results, and it made them want to buy from me, and it made them want to join me and all of those things. So now after that, obviously, and I'm rambling right now. Sorry. I know I'm going to get back to attraction marketing in a second. After that, I still, for a while, I didn't reach out to anybody. I still don't, to an extent. Now I do though, like, so now I'm pushing for prez. I'm like, screw it, I have to do something. And also because, a lot of those people, I kind of like burned out that market. So you got to change it up and do something new. But I don't ever cold message. Everybody knows this about me. If you haven't known this, I'm very vocal about it. But I do warm message a cold market. And that's what I think, I'm almost positive Nicole does that too. And so, it's a lot easier because you're being yourself. And you're not a robot. You're not using some crazy cold marketing, cold messaging scripty thing. Like, you're just being yourself, and it's what you would do on a daily basis, whether you were selling something or not. And that's how I look at it. But before that though, it was all attraction marketing. Everybody came to me. And the way that I did that was, still like what I do now. I show my personality. I show myself. Something that's very big with attraction marketing is controversy. And I know that there used to be some DTs, they're no longer in this company, but they were extremely controversial to the point of kind of turning people off. I think there's a fine line, and I think that you should still be a very positive person and not a negative person. But if you are into, for example, if you have something to say about, I don't know, vaccinations for kids, right? Don't think that because you have an It Works business that you can't talk about that anymore or at all. Okay. If you're into, if you're passionate, like I'm super, super passionate about pit bulls. I have one. I'm a huge advocate for them, and they get a massively bad rap. And so I am not afraid to get into it online sometimes with people that, I'll see somebody post about something and I'll take it offensively, and I'll start kind of just having a little bit of words with them. And I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to make a post that's kind of in your face and ballsy. Because I've realized in doing this for so long, I've realized that is attraction marketing. It is whatever you're passionate about. You have to talk about whatever you're passionate about, because that's where you're going to shine. And if that means that you're passionate about, maybe, like I said, anti-vaccinations or pit bull advocacy or whatever it might be, right? It's got to be something that will bring up a conversation, because that's what's going to make people sit up, and that's what's going to make people want to hear from you more. The whole thing with attraction marketing is, and this is why I love live video, the whole thing with it is, like I said before, be the hunted, not the hunter. When I do live videos, right, and this is something to remember, if you're doing live videos or posts or whatever, and you do have that slight bit of controversy in what you're saying, you leave people with wanting more. They want to hear more from what you have to say, or what you're thinking about, or what maybe your next video is. That's why I love live videos, you guys. And again, please do them, because anytime I do a live video, I leave people with anticipation, and I make sure to do those things. Like, a lot of times people will say, like, oh, do I just do it on products? Like, no, you want to do it about you. You want to do it about you, because doing stuff about you is going to lead people to the products. That's what you have to remember. So when you think about attraction marketing, it really is, again, and I will always repeat this, be the hunted, not the hunter. Don't be a mall kiosk. Do not. Be that elusive wolf in the room, to where people know you're there, but you're not harassing them. You're not, pouncing on them. You're kind of just letting them come to you a little bit, because something that I say a lot is that attraction marketing is very similar to when you're in like school and you were dating people, right? Like who was the person that you always wanted? The person that didn't want you, right? Like, I mean, that was for me. I was the only people I ever wanted was people that didn't want me. And I'd be like, oh my God. And they'd walk by, and like, I don't know why I wanted them, but I did. And so they were like the epitome of attraction marketing, because they were giving just enough of themselves and not pouncing on me, and not doing that to where it literally drew me so into them that I didn't even know what the heck I wanted them for. I was just like, oh my God, they're so attractive, because it was the mystery in that. So again, attraction marketing, be the hunted, not the hunter. Be the elusive wolf. Don't be the mall kiosk. Remember that it's like dating in high school, right? And where it's you're playing hard to get almost. But also have a bit of controversy in what you're saying and posting, because that's going to make people anticipate what you're going to say next. And that's the whole point. You want people to be on the edge of their seat and following you to where they're excited to hear from you again. They're looking forward to hearing from you again. When you post the same stuff all day, or when you're doing the same scripts all day, and it's like, same time, same this, same that, like there's no mystery there. And people, like, the jig is up. They know what you're about. So there's nothing to really follow you for. You want to give every day. You want to give people something that either makes them laugh, something that makes them think, or something that just makes them, be attracted to you. And whatever that might be, it just makes them be attracted enough to where they want to hear the rest of what you're saying. So I think I went off on another rant. I go on a ramble. I'm sorry. I go on a lot of rambles. So
no, it's awesome. We love it. We love it. We love it. Okay. So we want to know what or who inspires or motivates you. Because I know that you inspire and motivate a lot of people. So inquiring minds would like to know what motivates or inspires you.
Money. Just honestly, money. But and as far as being motivated, I love personal development. I love business leadership and leadership development and business development and things like that. I'm big into, other red personalities. Like I'm a huge fan of Tony Robbins, because he is like, whether I'm working out on a treadmill or doing work stuff in my house, I will have him in my ear, because he can light a fire. Like, that's what I need. I think a red really needs, like, even a higher red. So because otherwise, like, I could step on people, and I don't want to do that. So I need somebody like that. So he really motivates me. Jim Rohn, I think, is probably one of the most intelligent network marketing geniuses to ever come into this industry. And I absolutely, to this day, years later from when he started, and he's long gone now, but his words still ring true. He was a genius in the stuff that he said, and he was into attraction marketing, which is amazing. So I love him. I love Tony Robbins, like I said. And I think I look at, as far as in this industry, or in this business, should I say, somebody that really motivates me is Joel Dunn. I just, there's something about him. I love the green in him, which is weird because I'm red, but I love the green in him because he gives out those facts and those numbers. But I love how it just goes to show that the reason him and Stephanie are black diamonds, and he'll say this till all day, every day, is that they don't stop. Like, that's why they're black diamonds. People are like, oh, when you're a black diamond, you don't have to do anything anymore. Well, the reason that they're black diamond is because they never stopped. They never stopped and said, oh, I don't have to do anything anymore. They still work every single day. The only difference is that, and I'm sure, Nicole, you can say this too, the only difference is that when you're a triple, a presidential, whatever, you're still working, but you have the option and the choice to say, you know what, today I don't feel like doing anything. Tomorrow I don't feel like doing anything, and still get paid. And that motivates me, like, to no end, because I know that, like, I want to just be sitting around relaxing, not doing anything, and still getting paid, because that's a big motivator for me, because like I said, I like to win. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything like any other person really. I always try and compete with myself. I'm a big number competitor. Like, I liked, like if I was a top 5 enroller like 2 months ago, like, I damn well better be number 4 next month, like, otherwise I'll, like, be miserable for the month. And there's definitely been times where it hasn't happened, but that constantly motivates me. I'm constantly looking for who I can compete with next. But I think that is a big red thing, so I don't know.
I think it's awesome that you say that, because I think a lot of times a lot of new people come in and we compare. Sometimes,
Yeah.
we compare, like, we're here and we're like, man, this person is over here, and we're wondering why we're not that person. And so I know that Stacy and I stress a lot that your biggest competition is usually yourself. And so I actually really like that, on this day on Facebook, because I'm like, man, this is where I was here last year. Am I better today than where I was last year? And if for some reason I'm not that day, I'm like, man, I better freaking do something, like something better happened today. So I love that you said that. I think that's so awesome. Okay. So I have one more like big general question. And then if you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat and we'll go through those. So what would your advice be to a distributor of yours that was charted for a leadership rank, but more than half of their team doesn't work? So i.e. this person wants to know, would you take that role onto yourself and just do it all yourself, or would you start over?
This is something I learned from Denise Walsh, who I also absolutely admire for so many reasons. But she says to this day that even though she's Black Diamond, she never stops recruiting. And I am a big believer in that. I think that you're going to find it's a numbers game. You're going to find that diamond in the rough, and you're going to find numerous diamonds in the rough if you just keep recruiting people. And you know what? Like I'm big on stacking with building. So if that person isn't working, or if half the team isn't working, like I'm going to keep recruiting and stacking under them until somebody starts moving. And I'm not going to sit and worry, because here's the thing. If I sat and worried about, and I did this, okay, which is why I'm telling you don't do it. If you sit and worry and focus on the people that are not working, you're going to lose the people that are working. Because the people that are working, which if it's 5 out of 100 and you're focused on the 95 that aren't, then the 5 that could have been amazing are gone. They're usually going to be gone because they needed you and you thought that they were good enough and that they were independent of you, that they didn't need you, but really they were the ones that you should have been focusing on. So if there's somebody that's built for diamond and half your team is not working, focus on the ones that are, because what you will find, as well as recruit, because what you will find is that the people that are working, if you're praising them, this is a big thing. If you are praising them, if you are vocally open about it on maybe your group chats or your group page, and you're praising these same people and say, oh my God, my team is amazing, this and that, because those 5 people are doing incredible. You will find in the people that aren't working, there will sometimes be a few of them that come out of nowhere and be like, okay, all right, they're obviously working. They're doing it. They're getting it right. Okay, I have to get into this. And I've had that happen many times. So don't necessarily give up on the people that haven't worked unless you've tried. I mean, here's the thing for me, like if I've contacted you 3 times and I don't hear back from you, or you promised me like 3 times something, sometimes even 2, and nothing happens, like you're good and like done from me. Like I have nothing to do with you after that if you don't do anything, because I don't have time for it. So look at it that way. Constantly be recruiting, because you want to just be building your network, but you also don't get focused on the people that aren't working, because you're going to lose focus of the people that are. And then when the time comes, they're not going to be working. They're going to be gone because they needed you. And that's something that I learned the hard way with me. And that's something that you'll hear Pam say all the time, like run with your runners. And it's so true, even if you have 1, because at the very least, they're going to keep you motivated, because you're going to feel so down about the damn team. Like, oh, nobody's working. But there are 5 people that show up to your Zoom. So work with those damn 5 people, because they're the ones that are excited to hear from you. So remember that. Don't put them aside because the other 5 or the other 95 didn't show up. Screw them. When they show up, they'll show up. And if they show up and rock it, awesome. Until then, keep recruiting and work with those 5 people, because they're going to be your runners if you really, really work with them the right way. Sorry, I get really loud.
No, it's amazing. So, okay, I have to say this. So after the $9.99, there was all that craziness, and I follow you on Facebook. And so I think it was like a week after the $9.99, and you posted on there, hey, if you haven't signed a distributor since the $9.99, you are in management mode. And I remember looking at Justin, and I was like, oh my God, I signed 45 distributors during the $9.99. And I was like, I haven't brought on a new teammate in 7 days. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing? And so that was like that light bulb where it's like, man, sometimes you're right. So I think sometimes, we just get wrapped up in that, like, okay, now we have all this stuff. Now what do? We get out of that drive. And so I love that. And I just wanted to say that because that was like that light bulb aha moment where I was like, oh man, she is so right. So I wanted to make sure that I told you that because that was like
That's
that
awesome.
aha moment. And I also want to say, I think sometimes we forget, like, it doesn't matter what rank you are. You can always learn from somebody. So I know that if you think like, oh man, she's a presidential or she's a triple or she's a whatever, just because like, we are wherever we are, it does not mean that we can't learn from you guys or you learn from us. Like, so that's what I love about this company is that we can do stuff like this and we can all learn from each other. And so we sincerely appreciate this. So like I said, if you guys have any other like questions, we're going to start pumping through these ones. Okay. So we have somebody, so these are going to be all over the place.
Okay.
So it says, how would you recommend getting distributors? I'm new and I really want to get to Ruby. I think that kind of goes into attraction marketing.
So it goes into attraction marketing, you said?
Well, I mean, I think so, but.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think so. If you haven't done the whole, I know we talk about the hundreds list and all those things, like it's like the common thing that we always talk about, reaching out to your friends and family and everybody, blah, blah, blah. And if you have done all that, then you need to start growing your network rapidly fast. I have a lot of people on my team that are always like, oh, I added 3 people today. I'm like, okay, that's great. Like add a 0 to that and keep going. Like if you want a new network, you have to grow it. Like, come on, like do it. And just like, here's the thing, when I'm out, like in a store or wherever, you have to be observant. You have to be observant and you have to have your ears and your eyes open. Because you could be standing in line at the grocery store and without fail, there is always somebody in front of you or behind you looking at a magazine at somebody's brand new fitness body saying, oh yeah, I wish, or whatever. Boom, there's your opportunity, right? You're at the hair salon. Like it doesn't have to be people you're at the hair salon. What does everybody always talk about at the hair salon? They're either talking about their crappy marriages or how they want to lose weight. Without fail, that is what everybody talks about. And there's a bunch of women around you talking about this. Like you are not going to be sitting there looking at your phone saying nothing. If you want to get to Ruby, you're going to be bringing up what this business does and what these products do. Because I guarantee you because they have nowhere to go. They can't get up and run. They have scissors cutting their hair. So they have to sit and listen to you. They can't shut you off. So just start talking. Like always be out there with your eyes and ears open. Always, always, always. And if you don't have result photos, you already know. But if you do have results from something and you haven't posted them yet, or you haven't posted them enough, start doing that. There you go. I need to work on that. There you go. Eyes and ears open. There's always an opportunity. Everywhere you go, there is always an opportunity. I was just getting a massage the other day, and the massage, the whatchamacallit, the spa owner, was talking about this water thing that you put in water. She sold me on this like $25 pineapple coconut liquid drop to go in my water. It was delicious, by the way. But she sold me on this thing, and she's telling me how it came locally from this town that I know of. And she's like, and now it's in all the Hand and Stones. And I was like, are you serious? Because this is like a chain. And so she's like, I know. She's like, I didn't think they would do it, whatever. So I was like, I had to talk to you about something. And she's like, what? I was like, well, you know how you sold me on this stuff, right? Okay, now let's sit down. I'm going to wait for my massage. We're going to talk about what I do. And we started talking about it. And I have a meeting with her this weekend to talk about the business. Like, so, I mean, I don't know if they'll ever put it works in Hand and Stone, but for all we know, she could be a huge seller. But the point is, I took the opportunity. So it's always eyes and ears open. So it's not just a matter of, oh, I don't have anybody in my network, or, oh, I didn't do, whatever. Like, it's 5 people. And you don't even have to know those 5 people. All you need to know is like 3. Like, that's it. That's all you need to know. Everybody knows 3 people. And if you don't, keep those eyes and ears open. And like, seriously, start going to every store possible. Like, doesn't matter. Even if you have to just go to a store when you don't need to go to a store, start walking through the grocery line, buy a pack of gum, make sure you sweep in line behind somebody. Like, if you are that determined to get to Ruby, you'll do it. You'll absolutely do it. You got to get creative.
I love that. Okay. So you said that you did a lot of soul searching and self-development during the time that you stepped back. What did that look like?
For me, that looked like watching other leaders. That was definitely me watching Denise Walsh. That she was a big help for me. It was me finally. I know we always say about, head down, blinders on, and that was me to get to triple. So I didn't have distractions. I didn't know what other people were doing because I didn't even know who the other people were. I didn't know who was who. I knew Mark Pentecost and Pam Souter and Mike Padilla. That was all I knew, and that was all I cared about. I didn't want to go to events. I didn't want to do anything. I was one of those people. You guys don't do it. So like, do not be Jessica. So once I like lifted my head and I saw like the leaders that really inspired me, I really absolutely fell in love with Denise. And so I started following her and I started really looking at the stuff that she did. And I realized that like the one thing that I was not doing was something that she has a lot of yellow in her, that she was doing was praising nonstop. And it was something as simple as that, you guys, that like I was so red that, and because I had no upline, I was of the mindset that, okay, well, if I could do this with no help and get myself to triple, why the hell can't you get to Ruby with my help? Like, I mean, that was my mindset, and it was awful. It was awful, like, because I had no patience for anybody, and that is absolutely true, Red. But it backfired on me because there were so many times where my husband would be like, Jessica, you have to ease up. Like not everybody's going to be like you. Like, you have to remember that. And that is something that I had to remember, which is why color personalities are so critical in this business. You have to know who you're working with. You have to know who you're working with in order to know how to work with them. And that was a big thing for me with becoming a better leader. It was realizing that, maybe I did know a lot for not having any help, but I also needed to realize that I did need help, and I did need to not be so cocky about things like, oh, I got stripped. Like, what it really? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are ambassadors in Black Diamonds. Like, have a seat, Jessica. You know what I mean? So it was like, I needed to get out of my head, and I needed to realize that not everybody signed up or will ever sign up with the same goal as myself. And I have to, one, find out their goal, find out their color, find out who they are, and really take an interest in them, because it's not all about money, money, money. For me, becoming a better leader was more so about them. It was about my team. That's how I became a better leader. I focused more on my team without being in management mode. But I focused more on my team and what was good for them, and that changed me. And then it changed the team. And so now I have a team that's working, and I'm like, oh my God, I have legs that are like completely self-sufficient. And I'm like, oh, thank you, God. It took forever. It took forever because it was me, and it was all my fault. And for years, my husband would be like, it's you. And I'd be like, you can go sit down. It is not me. And it was me. It absolutely was me. So if you get to a point where you need to figure out how to be a better leader, look to your team. Look to your team, because that's actually who you're going to learn from. You're going to learn from them because they're going to teach you without actually teaching you how to work with them, just by you investing into them. So that's really what did it for me. And then also, obviously, like I said, Denise. So.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so does attraction marketing really bring people to you? And how much messaging do you do now a day?
Honestly, and I swear on my life. One, yes, it absolutely does. I think you are literally, I would say, in all the years I've been doing this, you're the only distributor that I know of that has been able to match me with numbers. And I love it, because I was like, yes, I'm finally gonna get to like talk to her, because I've never really talked to you. Talk to you. And I love when I see you post your numbers, because I'm like, see, like, people don't believe that it's possible, and it is very possible. And so I want you guys to know that, like, all of her numbers are real. Like, it is real. But in all these years, there has not been a lot of people, Nicole. Like, there's, like, really. So, and it's a matter of really just hustling and pushing for it. And, like, you guys, you all can get these numbers, all of you. Like, there's nothing special about me. Like, it's just you all can do it. I think that I totally forgot what I was saying. I totally forgot what I was saying. What the hell is the question? See, this is why.
How many? Okay, before I ask that question again,
yes.
So when I was like figuring out like, okay, I need to sign like a bunch of people, I actually went to, so I signed my diamond, and somebody, and she actually was like, oh, I went to YouTube and I found this girl, Jessica Pearson, on YouTube. You should watch her stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I went on YouTube, and then you have this video, and it's like how I sign like a bajillion customers in a month. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to sign a bajillion customers in a month. And so I watched that video on repeat every single day that month. And that was the month I went triple. Every single day I watched that video. And it was like on repeat. It was like it was my self-development video. And so I couldn't believe it, but I was like, man, I don't know what it is, but you're right. Like, if you're not a red personality, maybe you connect with someone else who's green or what, but I am a red personality. And so sometimes you do need that other fire of someone else who has like similar traits to you. And so, hopefully that's like not creepy, but you know.
That is the coolest thing. That is so cool to hear.
Okay. So they wanted to know how many people are you messaging now?
Okay. All right. Squirrel. So as far as how many people I'm messaging now, you guys, I'll message like one person a day. I know that's like, it's okay. So when I told you guys my story before, like, and I was like, yeah, I have a really weird story. I was dead serious when I said to you that I have never reached out to people. One, because that just wasn't me. There is that 2% yellow, as red as I am. I'm like, and as much as I love money and as much as I love winning, there is that I'm actually very shy. And this business, if you would have met me like 4 years ago, totally different. Like, and I think this was always in me, my personality, but this business really brought it out for me. Everyone's always like, you're not shy. I really, really am. So that shy part of me, I can relate to probably many of you that are afraid to message people or afraid to talk to people or afraid to do this and that. I promise you that was me. So that's why I didn't do it. But I've figured out attraction marketing, and it works, you guys. People absolutely will come to you all day, every day, and they'll say, you know, I've been watching you, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. And it's not like once a day. It's like at one point I was like tons of people a day. So as far as messaging people now, like it depends on what I'm going for. Like right now, like I'll say, yeah, I'll message like one person a day, right? But really in the grand scheme of things, like I'm going to reach out to definitely more than that because I'm trying to go pres now, and I'm just like, forget it. Like, and I have people that are I have so many people that I need to talk to. And so I'll reach out to maybe like 10, 20. I know there's people that reach out to like 100 people a day. I think you probably did that. I'm not sure. But like, I don't do that. So, but that's just me. I don't know.
Okay. So I want to add to that though. So Jessica's obviously able to do that because she does attraction marketing, because she puts herself out there, because she does all this groundwork. And so if you guys are kind of in this stage where you're like, all right, I'm just starting the groundwork, you're going to have a mix of having to reach out to people and starting your attraction marketing. Attraction marketing is a process, and it doesn't happen overnight. And I know that because I just literally started doing it in March, because before this, I didn't even know what that was, and I didn't even know how to do it. And yeah, before that, I was like green bling, and you know, I didn't even know how I got to double. I'm like, what am I doing? So it's attraction marketing is not an overnight thing. And so I want to make sure that, you know, like we understand it is a process. And so while that process is happening, you do have to reach out to people. And when we mean reach out to people, we mean like you're not messaging them specifically about it works. Like you still have to build those relationships with people. You still have to interact with them, because that's part of attraction marketing. That's part of drawing them to your world. And once they're in your world and they want to be a part of your world, then they want to be a part of your business. So
that is 1,000% true. I love how you worded that. And I also love that you use the word, what the hell did you say? The ground, whatever. You said something about the ground. That it's, I'm so out of it tonight. I need coffee. I'm so, oh my God. Whatever you said about the ground, I don't know.
Oh,
ground.
Yeah,
Thank you. Groundwork, yes.
Yeah.
Ground. I'm like the earth.
All the groundwork, you know, and so you have to do that first. So
yes, very, very true. Absolutely.
Okay, so we have a few girls on our team who are super afraid of lives, like super afraid. So they said, how do you prepare for lives and feel confident and get a good live in? Like, do you have, you know, especially because you just kind of talked about how you're a little bit shy. So maybe in the beginning, before you were doing lives, did you have any sort of like, I don't know, like pep talk process? Did you plan them out?
A lot of times I'll just do a live when I feel like doing a live. Like I don't plan them out. There recently in the last couple of months, I've done one every day at the same time. I actually stopped it because of our traveling, and I'm going to pick it back up again this week. So I would do one every day at 10 a.m. And here's attraction marketing for you. I literally will meet people, or they'll message me, or whatever, and they will stop working at their 9 to 5. They will say, I have to go smoke a cigarette or go to the bathroom, whatever, because they want to watch me. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, that's like, what? But that is attraction marketing. So, anyway, as far as going live, if you go back to my videos, like you could hear the change in my voice. You could hear the hesitation a little bit, because there was that shy part of me. And I definitely was, I would say, hey guys, it's me, and it sounds not like me at all, like how people know me now. Because now I'm like, hey guys, what's up? It's Jessica. So it's totally different because I did more and more and more. And just like with anything, the more that you do, the more comfortable you're going to get. But you have to start. You have to start somewhere. And if I could tell you guys anything right now, okay, how I'm getting all of my distributors, and this is something I don't tell anybody, and I'm just going to tell you right now, how I've been getting all of my distributors for the last, I guess, like 3 or 4 months. Without fail, I will get a message, a text message, a message on Facebook, whatever, at least once or twice a day from people interested in the business that I don't even know. Freaking YouTube. Get yourself on you. Like, I am not even joking, you guys. I don't know these people. I roll over to my husband and I'm like, look at this, another one. And do they all sign? No, obviously. But, they're reaching out. So that's added to my list. I mean, I have a list. I have a book. So like YouTube. And it all started with live videos. And live videos, you guys, I just recently did a 1 Team 1 Mission which actually was the first time I met Nicole. And I used to have a crippling fear of, I wouldn't even raise my hand in school, let alone speak, okay? Just wouldn't happen. And I have become obsessed with public speaking now. And I loved doing that 1 Team 1 Mission. You would have never, used to be petrified. And the reason that I'm not anymore is actually because of live videos. So the more you do stuff, the more I've fallen in love with it. So, and again, if you're going to really utilize attraction marketing, live videos are going to be your best friend. And if you have to prepare yourself by doing a video just for yourself to start out, to figure out, okay, this is how I look on video, this is how I sound. Do I want to sound this way? Do I want to sound that way? Whatever. But don't go into it thinking that, oh my God, there's going to be 25,000 people watching, blah, blah, whatever. I tell this to my team all the time. You're not that special. I'm not that special. Nobody's that. We always go into it thinking oh my God, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? They're not even watching. They're going to watch the replay. Nobody cares because we are not that special. We all think that we're so special. We're not that. You might be so special to your parents, but I promise you, we're not that special to other people. So they don't care. So if you have to go, a lot of times people look at the number on the live and they'll get freaked out. They'll see it rising and they're like, oh crap, just put a sticker on it. Cover the number up. You have no idea who's watching. For all you know, nobody's watching. You're just talking to yourself. Just be crazy. I don't know. That's what I do. For the first few, I actually put a sticker on it. And then the other times I would put a little picture of my best friend I literally printed it out and I put it right on my phone so I could feel like I was talking to her. And it just got more comfortable and more comfortable. And so whatever you have to do live videos, you guys, I'm telling you, the more you do live videos, the more that your following number is going to go up. And that's what you want. You want your followers number to be up there because one, the people that are watching you are going to take you more seriously. You're going to look more legitimate to people that are just finding you. If they come to my profile and they see, I don't even know how many, 10,000, I guess. I don't know. And so if they see that, they're like, oh, okay. I want to follow. They just automatically follow without even, and they want to see what you're all about. So you want to put that out there. That becomes your brand. That becomes attraction marketing. Everything is tied together. Everything. So you can't do one thing without the other, without it affecting the other. It's all cause and effect. So when you're doing attraction marketing, when you're doing live videos, or if you're afraid to do live videos, you haven't even tried that. Jose, if you remember that video, there was a guy named Jose who ended up signing up. He signed up, joined my team, signed up during the $9.99. It took him forever. But he's on my team now. He's on my team, and he's like boxed in for Ruby. So that, I love that. Thank you for saying that, because that video, I was like a ranting video. But again, attraction marketing. And you could write a post all day, you guys. You could write a post all day, but your personality is never going to come through that post until somebody sees you on live video. You have to remember that. If you're trying to use attraction marketing, you're trying to show your brand yourself, you could write as many words as you want. They could be the most amazing posts ever, but they're never going to be better than a live video, ever. Because no one's going to be able to see you in words. They're going to see you face to face on a live video with your voice, with your facial expressions, and it's personal. It's personal. What do we do with our friends? We FaceTime. We FaceTime with our friends. So if you're FaceTiming literally on Facebook with people that you don't even know, that trust wall comes down, and immediately it just makes it personal, and that's what you want. You want all of that stuff to be personal, because then you're not a salesperson. You are your brand, and that's what they're going to fall in love with.
Okay. Okay. So what is, and I don't know if you have this, because I know you guys travel and stuff. So what is an easy day-to-day goal or checklist that you follow? We have a lot of people on our team that still have full-time jobs. And this girl's a full-time nanny and she's a full-time student. And so she says she has little time and wants to know maybe what are some of your time management. And so I wasn't sure if you have any of those.
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am awful at organization and time management. But what I have done that has helped me a lot, and this I learned from way back in the day when I first started, was scheduling my posts. Now, I don't mean scheduling my posts and never posting in between then, because I feel like if I'm being led to post something, I'm not going to say, oh, I just posted something an hour ago, I can't post now. I'm going to post when I want to post. Please keep that in mind. If you post with your gut and you don't follow some like, okay, I'm going to post now, because one, it goes against the algorithm. And you want to always be working with the algorithm, because if you're posting like a robot every single day, the same times, everything else, Facebook's going to be like, ooh, she's not human. She is a robot. What's going on with this? And your stuff will be flagged and it will not be seen as much as you think. So what you want to be doing is you want to make sure that if you're going to use a scheduler, because this is a big thing, okay? The night before, every night before I go to bed, I'll schedule some posts. Because if I have no time, say I have a full-time job and I have no time to be making posts throughout the day, schedule them the night before. The night before, when you're just laying in bed, you always are laying in bed. What are you doing? You're on your phone. You're always on your phone. I can guarantee you. If you're not, then maybe, I don't know. But most people are always on their phones. And so if you're sitting there scrolling through Facebook, scrolling is not going to make you money. Start scheduling your posts, because that'll take time from having to do it the next day and the next day and the next day. And then all you have to worry about the next day is answering comments or replying to comments or things like that, and messages. So that's what I used to do. And I still do it from time to time if I know I'm going to be very busy. Scheduling, it is so beneficial, and it is such a big time saver, because you don't have to worry about them the next day. Because half the problem with posting is that you have to come up with the posts. You're like, oh, what do I come up with right now? Sometimes I'll have days where I don't know what I'm going to say. And so if I do it the night before, and then the next day as they're posting, I think of something randomly. I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to talk about this right now. I'm going to post it. And so that's what you want to do. Definitely use a scheduler. What else? And as far as like during the day, really, for me, my goal every day, I will always, and I've said this in a couple of my videos, I will always write down the number that I want to sign that day. Because I just feel like, and I'm sure you can agree with me, I just feel like if it's written down, it's going to get done. Like it's a way bigger chance of getting done than if I didn't write it down. Because if I don't write it down, I'm like, oh, well, if I sign somebody today, oh, you know what? No, I don't want to leave it to chance. Like if I'm telling myself, okay, I want to sign 2 DTs today and 4 LCs, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to make sure I do it because I'm super competitive with myself and my numbers. So that's what you have to do. Write down what you want to sign each day. And you would be shocked. You would be shocked at how you actually end up doing that. Sometimes to the exact number, if it's a crazy number like 7 LCs, you'd be shocked how you, because when you write it down and you see that, your belief in it, it changes your actions, and then your actions go and you get those 7 LCs. You go and do the damn thing. So go and do the damn thing.
Yeah, like it makes you accountable.
Absolutely.
I actually, it's funny because sometimes I do that with some of my potentials. Like, we all have those potentials that are like, oh, I'm signing Friday. I'm like, okay, well, I'm writing your name in pen and I'm just letting you know, like, I'm changing your life on Friday. So like it's happening. And
I love it.
I think it's funny and they laugh, but I'm like, no, really, I'm serious. It's in pen. I don't use white out. So it's there. You're there.
I love it.
So what are ways to bring up whatever you're following up with a potential distributor or potential loyal customer without sounding like you're only following up for their money?
It depends on what the last conversation was, typically. If it was something like, okay, well, I'll buy whatever and they don't buy. Or if, I'll talk to you on Friday and then I don't hear from them on Friday when they're supposed to buy. Then it's very simple. I'll just say, hey, listen, I'm putting orders in. And I know we talked about you wanting the wraps. Like, I just helped like 3 other people buy these wraps. Like, you don't want to miss out on this because we had a back order once and it was the scariest thing of my life. And I went through that back order, the wrap back order, when I first joined, and it was terrifying. And I was like, and I tell people it was the scariest moment of my life and you don't want to miss this. So are you doing this or not? Because I need to know. So like, I'm very like to the point like that. But again, it's always a voice message. Always a voice message, because if I said that in words, it's going to sound really nasty. If I said it in a voice message, like I just told you guys, you can hear me laughing a little bit, like making a joke out of things. So that's a big, big difference. But if I'm just following up with people that I haven't talked to in a while, if we talk, say, about like the stretch mark cream at one point, and I haven't talked to them a little bit, and I don't want them to think I'm just trying to get them, I'll send them a photo, a before and after of results from the stretch mark cream. I'll be like, oh my God, one of my customers just sent me this. It made me think of you because I know we were talking about it last time. You have to see this. Like, this is insane. And I'll just send it to them and it'll kind of like spark it up again. And then we'll just talk about it from there. Do they always buy? Absolutely not. But more often than not, if I'm building that relationship with them, then they absolutely do. So I don't know if that answered that.
No, for sure it did. I remember when we did the Las Vegas One Team, One Mission, you said something that I just loved, or you used it as an example.
Oh,
and
alien.
It was great. It was the alien example. And so it's like, okay, there are a few of us, that are on the team that are like, or I know, and we're like, man, what do you say to somebody? And Jessica posted or showed this like picture she sent an alien emoji. And she was just like, did you die? Or like, did you like vanish or whatever? Alien. And it was so funny, but that's like, sometimes, you can just be quirky and you could just be your personality. You don't have to, you could just bulldoze right into it, And so I thought that was kind of funny. So I like that.
I've actually used, on occasion, I've used like Harry Potter spells, like just one word. Or I'd be like, it would just be the funniest thing. And I usually do it with people that I've been talking to for a little bit. And if they know me, or maybe we've talked about Harry Potter briefly, like they will die laughing. And, and then that will absolutely get them perking up and wanting to buy. But yeah, the aliens thing I use a lot. If nobody has responded to me, I'll be like, okay, it was aliens. You were absolutely abducted. You were abducted. Like, what's it like on Mars? Do they sell wraps? Like, do they have stretch mark cream on Mars? Because that's amazing. So like I'll talk like that, and then people are like, oh my God, no, I'm so sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. I was so busy. I'm like, yeah, we're all busy. So what's going on? Like things like that. So, but at least it brings the conversation back up.
That's cool. Okay, so they want to know, do you have an accountability partner? And if so, could you touch on that? Can you touch on how that can affect your business, i.e. running with someone as fast or faster than you?
Yeah, I actually have, I have a couple, and they actually change. They change a lot depending on where the person is at. Because you're never going to have the same accountability partner, I feel, or at least I haven't. So I think having an what was the exact question?
It was, do you have an accountability partner? And then if so, how can that affect your business?
Okay. Well, it's huge. It's huge for your business, because especially if you are, I feel like if you have like, one person under you, like, all right, you have to be a leader now. Like you have to, so like if you're in a position where you have a team under you, whether it's, excuse me, one person or 25 people, you're constantly having to be the go-to, right? So you can't be accountable with your team because it's different. There's different goals there. There's different levels there. So you have to have somebody that is, especially a sideline, somebody completely not on your team is the best type of accountability partner. Usually because, especially if you're at a higher rank, for me, a lot of times I'll have my team, they will do accountability partners, with other people on, if they know other teams, or with each other, just because there's competition there, which is always great. But the competition part is really, I think, for me, what has helped my business a lot. Because with having an accountability partner, for me, I need somebody that is going to say, okay, well, I signed 3 people today. Like, what have you done? Like you have to stay accountable, because if you're not accountable to somebody, if yourself, anybody, then you're not going to go anywhere, no matter what business you're in. Like, you have to stay accountable. You have to realize that, like, we don't have a boss. We are in this with ourselves. Like, that's it. We're in this, for ourselves, but we're never by ourselves. And that's what's so important about having an accountability partner, because as far as how it's changed my business, it has literally lit a fire under me. If you could believe that there could be more, there's like an entire like forest fire, and it's lit that fire in me to where not only have I brought out my competitive side even more, but that accountability most importantly, because there's days where there's days where, because I don't have a boss, I just want to chill out and just relax and whatever. But then I have the accountability partner saying like, hey, I signed 2 people today. Like, what have you done? And I'm like, crap, I didn't do anything today yet. Like, I need to get on it. And I have that person to remind me. And if you don't have somebody like that, then you're not going to go anywhere. And you didn't sign up to not go anywhere. So you have to have an accountability partner. I think it's so important. I think it's a huge benefit to anybody's business, no matter what level you're at.
Awesome. We love accountability partners. So that's great. Okay. So we know you're a red, but do you have any tips for people who aren't reds?
Yes. So I'm not anything even close to a blue. So I'm sorry if anybody is a blue. I mean, I feel like you guys, if anybody on here is a blue, I feel like it's very easy for you, because like you'll just talk to anybody. Like, it's like you're cool, you're partiers, you're fun, whatever. But I have no blue in me whatsoever, and that's probably the shy side of me. I'm not a big people person, so no blue. But I think what I can tell you is how to work with certain colors. Something that a lot of people always ask is, how do I work with yellows? And I'm sure there's a lot of maybe yellows on here. That's pretty much the dominant color. I would say majority of the world is actually yellow. So how I work with yellows is, and this came with becoming a better leader and learning about my team, I always want to pull red out of every color. And because I think no matter what color you are, you absolutely need red to get to the top, period. You have to. Otherwise, you're just going to let people walk all over you. You have to have that red and that fire. So in order to pull the red out of, say, a yellow, just for this example, something that I will do is I'll have a competition. And immediately you'll see your reds right away, because reds love competition. But for the yellows, I'll say, okay, I'll tell them, okay, look, I'm going to be presidential if you do this. And like, if I wasn't, that's just an example. I'm going to be presidential if you guys get this. Who's getting it first? So one, yellows love to help people. Like, I have a yellow who is about to be my triple diamond, and she wants me to be on stage more than herself. Like, I'm like, stop it, just stop it. But she's yellow, and I love my yellows. I just love them. And so she hears that it could help me or help somebody on the team or help whatever, and they're on it because that's a yellow, as most of you know. But in order to bring out the red in the yellow, if they have it, I will have a competition. And you will see when yellows are told, okay, this is going to help somebody if you do this, if they have red in them, they're going to pull it out to be the first person that gets there. They will absolutely pull that red out to be the first person to get there. So for example, my DT Miranda, if I tell the team, okay, here's what you guys need to do. I need you to do this in order for me to be presidential. Here's what needs to happen. I will see the yellows that have red in them pull that red out to be the first to help me, if that makes sense, because that's what yellows love to do. But to compete, to get there first, you will see the reds come out. So you'll see that with that. The greens, I have a love-hate relationship with green. My husband is green, and I can't. But but I think it's a good balance. I think reds and greens are a good balance. But as far as working with greens, though, I think that if they're left to their own devices, like greens, I'll always ask, like, if I don't want to read anything, I'll always turn to them publicly in the group chats or in the group pages. I'll be like, and I'll call them out by name because I know the greens, and I'll say, hey, Kelsey or Miranda or whoever, what is the percentage of this? Because I am so lazy right now. And it shows them, it pulls out like a leadership quality in them because it makes them feel special, and everybody wants to feel special no matter what color they are. And it's also playing on their strengths because they do know everything in the compensation plan, like literally, like they wrote the damn thing, and it's crazy, and I love it. I'm so fascinated by the fact that they know this, because I'm not like that at all. So I'll do that. But I think, as far as, I don't even remember the initial question, but I'm pretty sure that maybe that helped. So I'm just going to stop there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm a terrible Zoom interview person.
No, you're good. Okay. So I need help on how to approach people. It is a bit of confidence, but I see and hear people all the time and want to approach them, but there's so much info going through my head that I probably say too much, so word vomits. And I have started to ask questions first to have them start the conversation, and I need help. Any suggestions is appreciated.
Yeah, remember what I said before about playing hard to get. And also think about what you would do if you weren't selling the product. Say you just bought the product and you overheard a conversation and you had nothing to do with selling the product, but you just tried this amazing product, and you heard somebody talking about something that the wraps could literally fix for them, and they don't know about the wraps yet, and you tried the wraps as a customer, nothing to do with selling. How would you bring it up to that person? You would bring it up with excitement. You wouldn't care about what you're saying because you're not worried about selling to them, and you would just talk like a normal human being. And that's what you have to always remember. I think it's very important that when we go into every conversation, every message, every reply, every post, whatever the case may be, I think it's very important that we remember who we are as people. We have to remember that we are not salespeople. I say this all the time. We sell products technically, but we are not salespeople. We are in the business of selling, but we are selling ourselves in order to sell the products. So when you're talking to people and you're just giving a suggestion on what you've tried, like, it could be anything. It doesn't matter. If you were going to tell somebody about the stretch mark cream and you weren't selling it, you would sound completely different as if you were selling it and you told them. Think about that. Always go into it as if you're talking to a best friend. Every single time, talk to your best friend in your head, no matter who that person is. If you have to put the picture of your best friend on the screen, do it for every single message. Do it, because that's how you reply to your best friend and tell your best friend about something is completely different from how you tell a stranger or an acquaintance. Completely different. Your delivery is different. Your tone is different. Your words are different. So, and it's always better with the best friend because it's more natural because you know them. So stop thinking that you're selling stuff and just start thinking about how amazing these products are and how amazing this business is, and just talk to them like they are your best friend.
1,000% yes. Is your profile public or private?
Public.
Public?
Always. 100% public. You guys, if I did live videos and people wanted to share it, who's going to see it? If I did an amazing post, people wanted to share it, who's going to see it? Just my friends list. None of their friends are going to see it because it's private. You have to have it public, you guys. And if you have kids and there's this is at your discretion. There's certain things that you want to keep private. That's different. But for your business, if you're going to run your business online, you need to be open for business, period.
So do you feel like the algorithm could hurt your business at all? You still feel like plenty of people can see your posts?
Yeah. Wait, what was the last part of that?
It says, do you feel like the algorithm hurts your business at all? Do you still feel like plenty of people can see your posts?
Yeah, even more so. even more so now because of more followers. There's going to be more and more people seeing your stuff the more followers you have. You want to constantly be upping that number. Your friends list could be literally at 500 and you could have 10,000 followers because you don't have to accept them. They just follow you. But it's those people that are going to want to follow you. So your followers number is so much more important because they're still going to see your posts. They're going to be sharing your stuff. It's not as important, your friends list is not as important as your followers. I absolutely do think that the algorithm can hurt your business if you're not using it the right way. If you're posting at the same time every day, the same types of posts every day, you're going to see less reach because one, your audience is going to pick up on that, and like the jig is up. Like I said, there's no mystery there. So attraction marketing not working. And also because Facebook is going to pick up on that immediately because it's the algorithm, and they're going to say, okay, she's like a robot. She's not human. This doesn't seem right. So they're going to start looking at your messages, and they're going to start looking they have everything in place, you guys. They have more stuff going on. If you're somebody that cold messages, and I've been trying to say this to people a lot, like without being rude, but if people, because I know that there's ambassadors that have cold message 24/7, they're going to need to change up what they're doing ASAP because Facebook is cracking down on anybody that sends a message. Like if it's the same message like 3 times, they'll block it. Like 3 times in a row, they'll block it. And I know people that used to send them like 50 times the same message over and over and over till they get in jail. I've never been in Facebook jail. I don't ever want to be in Facebook jail ever in my life. If you don't know what a cold message is, then you're probably not doing it, and that's fantastic. So, but as far as like the algorithm not working, yes, it absolutely cannot work. It will hurt your business. But keeping your stuff open and public, you will. If you're doing attraction marketing the right way, like I've been talking about, your reach is going to go up and you're going to see more and more people. You're numbered. Watch those numbers. If it's going down, then it's the easiest way to see if you're doing attraction marketing or not, right? Like if your numbers are going down, if your followers numbers is not moving, if you have no followers, whatever, and nothing's moving up, then you're not doing the right way. So you have to change some things up. But if it's going up and the numbers are going up, you're doing the right stuff. Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing and how you're doing it.
Awesome. Okay. So before I have Jessica leave us with like maybe her last tip, if you guys have any like, thank you so much, or we loved it, or your aha moment, drop them in the chat. I want to hear your guys' aha moments because I have a bajillion of them. And then Jessica, if you could just leave us with like maybe just like either your best tip or anything that left that you kind of just want to leave everybody with. And then I think that we'll let you go.
I think the confidence thing is probably the confidence thing that I talked about before. Going into every conversation as though you literally created It Works Global and the wraps and the products and all those things. Like have it in your head. Like this is going to change your life. It is changing your life. Like it could be the greatest thing in the world for you if you just have that confidence. And I think it's so important because when you have that confidence, everything that you say and do is said differently. It's worded differently. And that's the most important part. When you're having these interactions with people, you have to still be you. You have to still be you. Do not think that because you signed up to Work Global now that your entire profile has to be global. Like, no, it should be the movie it should be literally your lifetime movie. So it's all of your personal posts all the time. And it should be the commercials. That's how I always look at my profile. Like everything is me. And It Works is thrown in there like a commercial. Because that's how it should be, because people follow you for you. They don't care that you're with It Works. They don't care, right? You have to remember that. They will care once they see all the stuff happening. But for now, especially if you're new, nobody wants to see It Works 24/7. They want to see you. So don't forget who you are. Never forget who you are, because the second that you turn into salesperson, it's gonna go downhill. You don't want to do that. Don't think that because you signed up with It Works that now you have to post It Works 24/7. You have to remember who you are. You have to be you, and don't let that go. Like, don't think that it has to be 24/7 It Works, because it's not the case at all.
Oh my gosh, girl, thank you so much. I know that you're so super busy, but this was amazing. I can already see like everybody is just super excited. So thank you. We really, really appreciate it. I think quite a few of us had some really awesome aha moments. So we appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you so much. I had an absolute blast, and I'm sorry for world. So,
No, it's
and I actually, this is like perfect timing. I have 1% left on my battery, so it was perfect.
awesome. Okay, well, thank you. Cool. Okay, did you get the?
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Yellow screen.